in this part 3 of what I believe is true no contact. I made the decision to go true no contact with my mother, meaning I would never know if she tried to get in touch with me or not, because I have cut all the flying monkeys, extended family, out of my life as well. I made that decision for myself, and my conscience is just fine with it. The more I have learned about the evil that narcissists do without a conscience, any tears are for themselves. The way they thrive on getting any kind of reaction from us at all. Whether it's anger or sadness or joy, I personally think that they really thrive the most if they know that you're hurting so badly that you're about to cry. They like the rage too. But just the peace and the faint smile that came across my mother's face every time she made me cry. The way I gave up everything. I mean, a fiance, a great job, great life in Boston, to rush to her side when I heard she had been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I found a house to rent 10 minutes from her, came over, fixed her meals for her, healthy meals, got screamed at, sat with her in chemotherapy, held her hand. She told me that I was depressing to look at. I put up with that for years. I've done my thing. I'm sure all of you have too, or you wouldn't be considering going no contact. I did not mean for this to be such a long-winded explanation of why I am just fine letting my elderly mother pass when her time comes without me by her side, because she made those choices. I'm sorry if that sounds cold to some of you, but my conscience is just fine with it. And she really does not deserve to expect that from me. Now, with that in mind, I know that she's very involved in her church. She's a Mormon, an LDS, and they will be surrounding her and doing their little rituals. So I know she won't be alone. I have 9 stepbrothers and sisters. I've cut all of them out of my life. I don't know what poisonous stories she has told about me my entire life, but I grew up without any of my cousins, any of my aunts or uncles, any extended family whatsoever around me. I was so lonely. I had one brother, one sibling. He was the golden child. No one would come near me. I'd call, they wouldn't call me back. I wasn't invited to family functions. I'm just telling you that I know that my story is not a unique one. I am just coming to terms with the fact that it wasn't me. It was her. I don't even want to know what lies she told to make me avoid it, even as a small child. I'm thankful to God that I don't know what she has said about me over the years. I did bump into one of her sisters, my aunt, one day. We lived in the same town. I didn't realize it. I thought it was a miracle that I ran into her, but it was just horrifying the way it turned out, because I asked her how she had been, and I told her how Mom had treated me when I came home to take care of her through her chemo and afterward. And I had only seen her twice in my life. She put her hands on my shoulders, my Aunt Barb, and looked me in the eyes and shook me. I'm a grown woman. She shook me and looked with these horrible eyes, just like my mother. Now you listen to me. You tell yourself, I must amount to something. She told me to tell myself, I must amount to something. I have to amount to something. I was a school teacher. I was in graduate school. The aunt who was shaking me by the shoulders and my mom were both lifelong school teachers, retired school teachers. I worked a second job so that I could buy a house someday. I wasn't amounting to anything, really. I was just humiliated. I couldn't breathe. I walked away. Never heard from her again. And went no contact with all of them. I wasn't close to anyone, any of them anyway. They friended me on Facebook. They would occasionally ask, why haven't you spoken to your mother? So when I say true no contact, I mean, if nobody has a clue how to get a hold of you, then your no contact has been successful. If you have no clue that anyone has been trying to get in touch with you on your no contact list, it has been successful. Any guilt you might have, I can promise you, if you're ready to take this step, if you are tired of their torture, if you're tired of your complex PTSD being activated every time you see that you've gotten a phone call, a voicemail, and you wonder if it's them, an email, you wonder if it's them, it will quickly subside when you just feel this overwhelming sense of relief and freedom and control and empowerment that doesn't leave you. It's not fleeting, it's a lasting relief. And I want you to experience that. I feel like I am finally beginning to heal only after taking that radical step. Thank you for listening to this video.